Hello, everyone, and as always, welcome back to Strategy Gaming Dojo, where we find, learn, and play one more turn of the great strategy games. Today, we're going to get back into our Let's Play tutorial for Decisive Campaigns, Ardennes Offensive. And we've done a couple of episodes where we've gone all around the screen and what everything means. We've started to play the game, and we started off by moving the 559th here in the north. Now, this mini map, I guess it kind of shows you the basic general setup, but I like to look at the strategic map. We've crossed the river here with some forces down the roads with the 559th, and we had started to move 11th Panzer over here. And all we had done is move the motorized down the road into Marsal here. We still have movement points available there. I'm just kind of waiting to see as we move other things where we may want to take this motorized, probably right up this road. As you can see, he's got a cavalry unit sitting up here on a little bit of a bluff. If we click on that hex, go to the hex stats, you'll see it's a height 1, and down here is the valley that goes into the river here, so that's a 0. We would, he's got a good vantage point to check out where we're going. We've still got all of these units to move. You can see the headquarters here for 11th Panzer, and if we bring up the officer, this is Wiedersheim, and Wiedersheim still has 10 command points, so he could do speed potentially if we wanted to pop that onto a unit and use that for speed, and we may do that. Or we could wait and get an offensive bonus, either attack, which could be on any unit, or tank drive. Now I say wait, why is that? Well, when we add this 2 at the end of this turn, he'll have 12, and then we could play this card. But do we want speed? What do we want here? The need for speed. Well, let's go here and look. But before we do that, I just wanted to kind of look at the situation over here, see what we have left. Now we're on inspect, right? And so nothing's going to move while we're on inspect. We've already fired our, well, that is not true. I've got to correct myself. We did not fire this artillery. We put it on the map. We played a card to get extra artillery. We played this commander's card to get the extra artillery. They can't do anything until next turn. They come on with 0 movement points. Down here, we have an arty that's following behind the infantry, and you always want to do that. As someone pointed out in the comments last time, I made a mistake, and that was moving this artillery unit up to the front line. You do not do that when you've got a regiment like this and it's broken up, and you've got the artillery part of the regiment here. Leave them. He really probably should be right here. Now we do have one arty here, but the other arty should be back there as well. My mistake, first time through the game, but fair point. Fair point. Whoever brought that up, I think it was Nord. Of course, Nordhammer brought it up. Let's look at this unit, let's look at this unit, this artillery unit. He still has 30 action points. Could he go anywhere? Let's go to move. He could move up 1, and we could stack him with the infantry. Now, we're not seeing anything, and we do have some visibility here. So I am going to move him up 1 and just get him gumming down this road as fast as we can, because we want to get him up here on this elevation so then he can look down into the valley at Aircourt, fire off his arty, which really is mainly mortars, but he does have some pack guns too. So we want to get him up here on the hilltop. That way he can fire down into the valley, and then you can see we've got elevation over here as well. For some of these other units, we're on 0 there. Let's look at their readiness and what it does moving them. You can see here our readiness is down to a 71. That's because we've moved. Now the vigor is 100, and when we started here, I think the readiness was either 100 or close to it. But as you move, your troops get tired. Everything in this game is modeled and modeled very well, I feel like. So their readiness is down a little bit. If we did have movement points, or I should call them action points, if we did have action points left, and we were going to attack something, they would not be as effective, and some of the troops might not even participate. You'll see a negative score on them that some of the troops are not ready. We've got our headquarters here. Now, we could move the headquarters further, but I kind of like where he is here. He's got everybody in command. He's sitting in town. Perfect. perfect. I mean, artillery could come in here, but he's going to have a better hide score in town, which will make him harder to hit, and he's got everybody in command. So I think we've done everything we can do here. On the road here, you can see where the game is saying the front line is here. We've got, we're down in this valley here that comes down to this part of the river. He does have a mech unit here. We've got infantry and we've got an anti-tank group. And so I like that with the mech here, having the anti-tank here stacked with the infantry. All right, so up to 11th Panzer, we've still got a number of move points down here. One group has 76. Oh, I'm sorry. This one has 76. This one has 68. It always rounds to either the higher or lower number that you see here on the counter. Two very strong units, 56 and 48. You can just kind of look around here and see the Americans do have a 67. This is a tank part of a regiment. They've got the cavalry and they've got the mech. We don't know what this is in town, but we probably want to start moving out on this road. But before we do that, we're going to move some other things. Now, I'm going back and forth which card to play here because I would like some more movement points because we do have a recon group back here. It's part of this regiment. It's got Panzer Grenadiers in here, but it's got the half tracks. It's a fully motorized unit here, right? It's the wheel 4x4, so it's going to be a faster unit. And as you can see, it can get all the way out here and around. And I think that's what I want to do. And I actually think I am going to play. Let's look at this card. Cancel. Can I just bring it up? Cancel. Oh, I guess if I hover, that works. Extra action points for selected unit. Okay. AP increase is audacity divided by 2, modified by the headquarter power percentage on the unit. All right. Well, let's go to this recon unit and check it out. Its combat percentage. Well, I'm going to have to look for it here, actually. Improves combat stats. That's experience. Oh, there it is. Duh. Okay, headquarter power. Well, like I said, first time I'm playing this game too. The percentage of control power the headquarter has over the unit. Well, that makes sense because we're 1 hex away from him. Okay, so it's going to give us 100% of that. And then what else did it say? Audacity divided by 2. Well, his audacity is 50, so it would give us 25 extra movement points. Tell you what, I don't think that's worth it. I would rather hold till next turn and get the combat bonus. So let's just look at attack. It would be audacity divided by 2. So our offensive bonus increase would be 25%, assuming it's within 5 hexes of the headquarter. So I think we're going to save that. We'll save it for Wiedersheim. All right, so we're on move. We've got this recon unit, and let's get him across this bridge. You can see the bridge across the river. It did not get blown. Now you can see we could potentially move all the way into town here. There could be a unit here we don't know about. That being said, we probably should have decent recon on this hex. Let's look at it. And nope. See, we wouldn't know. You have to be greater than 20 on the recon to hide to see a unit. So we don't know if anything's in here or not. I thought maybe we would have, something decent here, but as we move units out, we'll get more and more line of sight on Jubilees. So, okay, well, that answers that question. We're going to go ahead, get this guy across. Now, remember, there's defensive fire, and you get better line of sight every time you move a hex on the hexes around it. So, really, in this game, even though it shows you could move all the way here immediately, I like to move so far anyway, hex by hex. That way you don't run into that automatic fire just because you could like do it to here, and all of a sudden if there's a unit here, you get shot at here and it stops you. Whereas maybe right here, you would have known about that unit and you don't move further. Okay, does that make sense? So I really think it makes a lot of sense to go hex by hex with this. And as you can see it, we're getting more line of sight over these hexes. And we're going to move all the way in and around with this recon. Now, why am I doing that? Well, first of all, we just don't have much over here, and I don't want like a potential breakout for these points because the Americans could come here and get 30 points. So I'm going to bring some units around here. We'll go there and finally there. Okay, we never got shot at. We did kind of determine there's probably no American units down in here. Great. Okay, perfect. And you know, as we move up, we'll get more and more line of sight, more and more recon points. I probably want to bring another unit around that way, but which unit? I think I'm going to actually bring um, these engineers. Now we know we can move through these hexes, but let me caution you. Sometimes the automatic defensive fire will wait. I've noticed that just screwing around. It will wait until a higher value target comes through. Um, I had that happen when I was just screwing around with the game. I was like, wait a minute, I already moved something else through there. All right, but the 209th, he's going to move in here, Pioneer Battalion, right there. Okay, great. Now, what else do we have here? We've got another motorized unit, and I'm going to move him across here, across the bridge and into this town. Now, we may eventually move him down here, maybe not though. I'm going to move him here first before I move the headquarters, all right? So let's move him around. He's in the 110th. These guys are 111th, right? All right, the 110th here. We're just on the single unit move, not the group. I don't want the headquarters to move into here yet, just in case we get sniped at. I'd rather it be our motorized unit. Now, something else to keep in mind. As we go across this bridge and down these roads more, they will start to accumulate travel points. He doesn't call them travel points, but they're essentially, you'll start to see little trucks show up as icons out here, and we will see that because we're going to go across this bridge a lot. It will cost more AP to go across that bridge or go down that road, well, ultimately through the hex, right? As you go across different roadways more. And we'll see if, yep, and there it is. Okay, so you see this truck here. That is now going to give us a penalty every time we come into this hex because we're quote unquote, overusing this bridge. And if we go to hex stats, does it show us that? I'm not seeing it. I'm on that hex, right? It's not showing me. There's got to be some place you can see it, but I'm not seeing it right now. But that will start to give you penalty. Maybe we just don't have one yet. What would it battle AP? This slows you down. Penalty slows you down. Maybe is it obstruct? Well, we'll see because we're going to keep coming down here, so we'll know here in a moment. All right, anti-tank. We can see tank there, tank here. I think I'm going to bring the anti-tank also into town to stack with this motorized. Okay, great. Still only one truck here. Let's go back to this and just see if anything changes. Nothing yet, nothing yet. All right, this motorized, I'm going to move him across the bridge, although we could bring him down this way. This motorized the 110th, that's the 110th. Actually, you know what? I think for a moment, I'm just going to bring him across the bridge. And now you can see in this hex, on this side of the bridge, we've also got a truck that's shown up in yellow. All right, keep that in mind. Um, we've got this artillery back here. We could take this artillery and go put it up here on a bluff, right? We could move it through here, put it up here on this bluff, but we're going to be blocked on line of sight. You can see the elevation here. Now, this artillery can actually get a pretty darn long ways. And we could flip it over to move it, or we could fire here, okay? So let's look at these guns. What do we have? We have the Westby. Now, we've already looked at the Westby once, but it's got a range of 8, and that's a range of 8 will get out here, right? I mean, so we could hit some of this stuff, but is this the best, use of this, or do we want to move it forward, move this artillery forward? Now, we don't want to put it in danger like I did this artillery over here, certainly. We've also got the headquarters, and the headquarters will probably end up setting down in town here, or we could bring it, down this way to get more things into command range. Now we're going to want to move it with the anti-aircraft, I think. But what are we going to do here? Let's put this on its tracked. So let's switch that over to March mode. Okay. So now that's on March mode and it shows up white here. We did spend 25 APs to flip it over, and I think we'll also do that with this. Now, remember, it does not cost you anything to flip it back. And so you spend the 25 up front, but whenever we get to wherever we're going, we don't have to pay to get it back. So we're going to put, and you can see they show out here up here in white as well. You want to make sure before time is out here that you go and check these and none of them are on move or march mode, because again, it costs nothing to flip them back to combat mode, but it would cost you 25 points next turn to then put them back in march mode. So you can see in black means that they're in combat mode. So just something to keep in mind there. All right. This, I think I want to get moving this way. I want to come across. Now we may catch some fire here doing that. We still have the 2 tank divisions. We also have this artillery, but it's got 0 move points. We already fired it. We also have this anti-aircraft. That's the first thing I'm going to do. So I'm going to put this on move mode, and I'm going to move it. I don't want to slow other things down. I'm going to wait to move it because it's got to go across this bridge. Because if I come this way, I'm going to get fired at, obviously. So it's got to go across this bridge. I want it to be with the headquarters eventually. And I'll probably put all 4 of these units in that hex potentially. But let's wait on that. All right. So what to do with this artillery? Well, yeah, let's go ahead and not fire it this turn and instead try to get it into position. And I think the best position for it, just looking here, maybe like here, we get, pretty clean line of sight. It could eventually be, here down into the valley of Arncourt. Although, well, that's not going to be great. It would need to be maybe here eventually. All right, well, that's why we play the game, guys. Let's just put it into town for now. But again, that's going to cost us move points. I would rather take the armor and move them first. All right, so let's take this, the part of the 15th here, 15th Panzer Regiment. Um, I'm going to put him in move mode because we're not expecting to get any, return fire here. Let's get him out and across the bridge. And I'm going to bring them this way and try to do a little pincher movement here. So let's bring him this way. Okay, he runs into no resistance, but now you can see we've used up a lot of that road because we put the Panthers, 25 Panthers down this road. Okay, now that we're here, let's click off of this, off of move mode. Remember, it will cost you 25 AP to switch back. Yes, that's fine. Okay, so now he's in black. We can look there. He is no longer in move mode. Okay, we've still got the artillery back here. We've got this part of the regiment here. This part of the regiment, I think we're going to move around this way and come down these roads. But first of all, I'm going to take these 2 motorized and I'm going to get them across the river and I want them to move together. And so let's go across this river on the road together. Okay, we don't take any fire, which is a little bit surprising, actually, I think. Now remember, let's get this there we go. We've still got 2 motorized here. Do I split these and I leave one here and then I also bring one of the motorized around here? Do I bring one of the motorized down here? I'm trying to keep all of 11th on roadways, right? Actually, these guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and move them in a group mode together right next to this cavalry. Now, he does have an elevation advantage, which gives us a combat penalty. Well, we take no defensive fire from him. That actually surprises me a little bit. Okay, they still have movement points left. They're still in combat mode. We could attack here potentially. Um, do we have enough movement points to do that? Doesn't look like it. All right, this regiment with the tank groups, I think I want to move them out, and I may just keep him here, or I may Well, first of all, let's. All right, he's got 9. I've got this on group move, and this can't move. So see, as you can see, it won't show us any potential move. So let's go back to move. All right, and now he lights up, and now you can see where he can move. Let's have him go across this bridge. This is starting to give us real penalties over here, I would think. This has got 2 trucks now. Let's actually go look. Does it show us anything? No, I'm not seeing what the penalty is. Maybe it has to go red. Maybe this is a warning. Now, I did read the manual. I guarantee I did, but I don't remember this. Maybe these have to go red. But, I'm looking. I'm trying to figure that out. Let's get him up and around this bridge. All right. I am going to just keep him on regular combat mode just in case they want to fire something at us. Now you can see you can get a long ways down here, so that's fine. Okay, and now we've got a little yellow truck there. As you can see, we've now got this in range if we wanted to fire, because why is that? Well, the Panzer IVs have a range of 2, so they couldn't. Oh, they are in range of him. That's within 2, right? We've also got this flak that's just got a range of 1. But the Panzers could hit him if we wanted to attack from distance, right? We can't move the artillery, all right? Let's go ahead and move the anti-aircraft up because I don't think we're going to bring anything else there. That's fine. Let's move the anti-aircraft up here. It is in movement mode. Do I want it to be in movement mode? They could fire at us from here, but I already switched it. So up he goes. All right, well, we got a little lucky there. Let's take that off now. So he's off move mode. And then we're also going to stack the headquarters there. Okay, and don't forget that your headquarters actually do have a little offensive ability. They've got what do we have here? Uh, the Möbelwagen. You can see that how we got that out of English, mobile wagon. But they've got a little flak and they've got a little, they've got a few guns. So you actually do have a little combat. I say a little bit. It's a 33 combat value for your headquarters. So unlike some games where your headquarters are completely useless, which actually isn't quite realistic, right? I mean, they're going to have some firepower. Unlike, other games, your headquarters can do some damage. And they do have some range damage here too. As you can see, they've got the 88 millimeter flak, and the 88 millimeters have a range of 3. So we probably will fire on this with the 88 millimeters because those are anti-tank guns. We could certainly use that. All right, so we've got motorized here. We're not going to move the anti-aircraft or the headquarters anymore, but we may move this motorized down the road here. Make sure you've got him in combat mode and make sure it's only single unit movement mode. But I'm going to start expanding out this way. So let's go here. Okay, we take no defensive fire there. Now then, I'm going to move in here. We've got 43. You see the 4. He's a little light on fuel. You can see it's gone yellow. What's our fuel situation look like? We're now taking combat penalties because of fuel. -8. All right. Something to look at. but we're going to move here and try to kind of put a lot of pressure on this cavalry unit because it's the weakest thing they've got out here. Now, I could move there and put some pressure on this, but I think I'm going to go over here on the road. Nice. Okay. So now we're moving this way. We're trying to get to Aracourt, right? Now we could put this anti-tank there, but I think I want to leave it here, and I think I want to start moving this down this road as well. This is also in combat mode. All right, down there, here, and I think I want to come around behind here and start threatening to isolate this. Let's do that, and let's go there. Okay, and you can see their readiness now. His readiness is still 89, not bad. We would be taking a -4 combat penalty. The percentage of effectiveness of the unit in offensive operations. Okay, that is based on supply. Why is that? Well, we're using up fuel, and a lot of these are motorized units, right? So we're using up fuel. Now then, I think we will take this artillery. Let's see, where would this artillery best be? Looking for elevation, right? Eventually, it could be in this town, but we get blocked right here. Eventually, we could put it up, let's say on top of this mountain and, shoot down this way. We should have, we get blocked of line of sight potentially. Now, this is a hex 2, so this is a height of 2. This is only a height of 1, so it's, we could have some line of sight down in here. But I think ultimately what I want to do with this is bring it around here and have him, okay, well, this is good. He doesn't have to move across this bridge. And you can see, there it is, the red. We finally see it. Is it going to show us what the penalty is? Nope. It must tell you in the manual what the AP cost of this is, but I'm not seeing it, and I'm not going to click off of here to go look at the manual. So it's there you go. Just know it's penalties, but we can bring him all the way around here to town. And I think we're going to do that. And I'm going to leave him on move mode. He's fairly well protected, right? They can't see us here because this is a 0 for height. This is a 1. So it's blocking all of this visual, right? Okay, what about the headquarters? We've got that in move mode. I'm actually going to move it down here into this town again because he's got capability. He's got some offensive and defensive capability. 45, hell, that's as good as one of our motorized units. So let's bring him down here, but I'm going to move these two together. All right, so I moved this one individual unit over. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Undo, undo. Oh, crud. I wanted to hit group mode. Well, you can tell I'm being honest with you that I'm not playing this in advance. Okay, is the other guy, he's still in move mode. Shoot fire. All right, well, I meant to hit group. Can they, oh, they can almost still get there. All right, that's fine. We'll move them to this hex, close enough. They would get a little more cover here, but I don't really think we're going to get attacked, so that's fine. So we're in group mode. Ah, this did not move. Why is that? Interesting. Does it not move anti-aircraft the same way? Okay, well, he's next to him, which will eventually give, he's got a range of 1. So it's still protecting him. We'll take both of these out of combat mode. Oh, we can move him here. Can we move him there? No. So I want the anti-aircraft within 1 of him. So I'm just going to leave it as is. If he moved into town, that would not be the case. Now, we may get some aircraft. That card may get played. But okay, well, so be it. All right, I think we've moved most of these guys. I'm not going to move this any further. We could move the anti-tank up potentially to, stack with these units because we do have this that'll probably try to come down the road here. But I think I'm going to leave it here for now with the headquarters just to protect it against any kind of counterattack. All right, artillery, we've moved this artillery. We moved both the this part of the regiment, which is more of a recon part, and we've moved the Panthers down here. So that's our big firepower, right? The Panthers. All right, I think we've moved everything in the north I want to move. Excellent. Okay, let's go to the south. What do we have down here? We haven't really looked at the south as much. We've got a motorized unit here, okay, that's sitting here on the road. You can see kind of the road interchange here. The Germans protecting the Americans trying to break out this way. So he's right here near the interchange. We've got these units coming here that will be here next turn down this road. I'm going to try to get around behind the the Americans a little bit. So we've got this that's moving this way. Um, if we look at the rest of the situation, we've got a headquarters back here and a headquarters here. We do not, I don't, oh, we do have the headquarters here. Okay, well, let's look at the commander and see if there's anything we want to play. So we go to the officer. He's got 10 points. Hold, attack, recon. What's hedgehogs? Increase the defensive bonus of a selected unit, but offensive penalty and readiness reduction. Okay, defensive bonus is equal to the determination of the commander. Well, if we go up here, I think this is intuition, determination, charisma. Nope, determination's green. So this is the green cards are the defensive cards. Determination is 40. So we would get a 40% bonus if we play this defensive card. Same with holds, right? We get determination divided by 2. Um, but they take an offensive penalty. Okay, well, we're on the offensive here. Tank drive, we don't really don't think we're going to need that car. I mean, we may, right? I mean, we may want to attack this unit. Now you can see he's up on elevation here. So we got to be careful with that. How do I want to play this? Where are the points? Um, Let's look at this strategic map. So Lay is worth 5. We're already, you can see our units here pushing towards Jubilees and Lazay. Okay? We're putting him in a situation he may have to retreat out of here. What about these units? Well, they're coming here to protect these German points here. But he could fall back here. He could try to break out there. My guess is he's going to try to fall back, right? I mean, they're going to try to go back to Aracourt, I would suspect, as we, threaten to get around him. What I'm wondering is if I should start kind of coming this way, because even if the Americans come here or here, I've got forces to meet them, right? He's on this road. Now, if we look down here to the south, we're protecting this bridge this way across the river. We could try to blow this bridge to do a little more defensive stuff. We've got this motorized here. We've got part of the tank battalion here. I'm not feeling nearly as offensive here in the south because we already see 4 make it 5 American units. This actually looks a little vulnerable to me, this position. Now, he would have to get across the river. He could also get across the river here. What if I shifted everything down, though, and protected every river crossing? Um, and just backed up because where are the points in the south? All right, we've got 2 small point perspectives here, or point areas here. Well, 3. Okay, and we're sitting on all 3 of them. The big one, Moicourt, is here. What are these 1-point ones? Or these are units? No, these must be 1-pointers. Um, okay, well, let's pull back here. Let's look at this from a little bit bigger perspective. What are we working with here, and what do we want to do? Well, we're getting really offensive in the north, or more so. We're trying to come around here and cut him off, and we're pushing here to cut off this one armored unit he has out here. Okay, we could also, I mean, the headquarters has offensive capability and defensive. I should stop saying offensive. How far can he move up? How far can he go? Can he get to Maracourt, which looks like the place maybe you would want to have him? No. If I did turn him into move mode, could he go further? Probably. Could he get all the way to Maracourt, which is where I think I want him to go? Where are the bridges? Here's a bridge, here's a bridge, here's a bridge. Well, we're going to want to defend all three of these, right? We've got that. I probably just want to. I'm afraid about this, though. Hmm. And do I want to play a card with this guy? What is he good at? Well, he's mostly offensive. Audacity, attack, speed. We could also entrench. Don't think we're going to do that, but we may need the hold card at some point. Um, okay. Let's put him on move mode. Yeah, now he can get all the way to Maracourt if we want him to, and beyond, actually. But let's put him in Marcourt for now. And then let's put this, well, before we do that, come back and make sure you turn him off move mode. All right, so now he's going to sit right here. That allows us to move a little bit here. We could move this guy around. We've got a tank brigade here, or part of the brigade, I should say. It's a regiment. Um, we've got a grenadier regiment. Okay, well, we want to move this first. Let's put this on tracked, and we'll move this down to Marcourt, so we get that AA. All right, we want to take that off of move mode. All right, perfect. Make sure those guys are both on black there. All right, and also, I mean, I haven't changed this at all. It's still on normal defensive fire, and it's on regular retreat mode. That's how I've got everything right now. I really want to come defend against this bridge. That looks like the other place he'd get across, but I'm afraid this unit may get isolated down there. Um, yeah, I'm going to start in the south and work my way this way. Let's go ahead and move this down and around. All right. And we're going to put him right here at this bridge crossing. This also protects if he crosses here on the roadway. Okay, and we see an infantry unit here now. As we're moving, we're kind of moving around here, threatening to come up here and totally encircle. At least that's what I'd like to threaten. Um, Now then, this motorized, do I keep one motorized and move one tank here, or do I take both motorized down there? I think I'm going to take both motorized down here. That's the fastest way to go. All right, let's do it hex by hex, though. We uncovered this as we got line of sight, right? So let's go there. Okay, we did take some defensive fire there. Intercept fire. Okay, get it right, Chris. Intercept fire. We took no losses. Okay, so they fired. It's not showing it. Oh, they fired something at us we can't see. Um, okay. Artillery. It's got to be that artillery. Okay, and they do it again. And now we see it 105 millimeter howitzers. And this is why I say move hex by hex. We've now spotted him. 6 howitzers were firing at us. We lose nothing here. We're the defender, right? The defender's total. You can see here, we went down in our readiness from 92 to 90, though. Our morale went down from 49 to 48, and our natural entrenchment went down from 28 to 27. Okay, fine. But we're also using up a lot of his howitzer. I'm not totally opposed to that. Okay. Still rolling. Let's put him right there. Now, if we zoom in and we see the situation, we've got this bridge crossing covered. And also, if he comes across this bridge, we're on the road, right? Is this a town? Let's go to the hex. No, it's just plains, all right? This is as little defensive support as you're going to get. This guy is in town. He's in Hennemanel. Okay, great. Still got some movement points too. This guy could go a little ways here, but I don't want him to get isolated. I'm playing a little more defensive up here. Now then, we have the headquarters of the 111th that's here that's got a 30, right? Not bad, not bad. And if we look at the unit, um, unit details, oh, that's just going to show us the supply. But, well, basically he's a 30. We could go and look but he's got guns. He's got the 88 millimeters, I believe. He's got a couple of these mobile wagons. He's got the 250, which is a half track. It's, got guns and whatnot. Or is that full track? I think it's full track, actually. No, it's half track. Okay. Um, Okay, great. So, I mean, that sets up defensively. If he wants to come here and cross this bridge, he's got to go through us. If he wants to cross this bridge, he's got to go through us. Same here. Now, this is a little weak here. We could next turn move this headquarters up as well, but this is a big headquarters. I don't really necessarily want to do that. All right, moving up. Now, a lot of these guys could still fire their ranged weapons, and we'll get around to that in 1 second because that's also the case with 11th Panzer. There is still some ranged weapon available. As a matter of fact, why don't we just do that? And rather than going through everything, let's click on this hex, okay, and go to hex and click on ranged. And what can we fire at him? All of these units still have some sort of ranged weapon that they can fire. So let's put them all in there. And let's just absolutely bombard this cavalry unit. Now, we could also actually, though, take these two out. Let's go to the map. You can click on that map feature. That's what I wanted to show you. And in green, it will show you everybody that's in the attack right now, right? This is very helpful, right? You can see kind of a bigger picture of who's attacking. Well, these guys right now or these guys and this is in the attack. I don't think we want these guys into the attack. These guys have no movement points left, but you can see the artillery's coming from here and the artillery will be coming from back here. I like that. Let's take these out. All right, so we'll take these two out, and now we've got these three in for a ranged attack. And if we go back to the map, you now see over here, they could be in the attack if they wanted to. So that's in white. In green is something that is in the attack, including these two stacks down here. And then here is red. They can't be in the attack no matter what. They don't have enough action points. Okay, and then you'll see that over here as well. All right, so these three, I think we're going to bombard with them, and we do that. We don't lose anything. We shoot our 88 millimeter flak. Our Panzer IVs also get a shot off on these things. 24 of them, whoo, whoo, shooting the Panzers guns. And what do? What kind of damage do we do? Well, we kill or take out a Greyhound, and then they had to retreat out of here, so it's not available for combat. 3 Greyhounds and an M3 half track. All right, well, I mean, it wasn't a massive result for us, but that's fine. We only lose 3 on the readiness for the totals of the units. He loses 6, but his entrenchment actually goes up. I guess they all ran for cover. Now then, all right, now we've got this unit still here. Let's click on that hex again and say attack. What do we see here? We've got the one unit we have enough movement points to attack with. It's only the 111 that has more than 50 action points. So if we go back here, we'll see. One has 46. I said more than 50, but it rounds up, right? 46. This one's only got 38. It does not have enough to attack in here. And you can't even get it to, show the attack. If we go back here, sorry, let's go to move. If we go back to just the single here, you can see it's got a bullseye now, right? So what would happen if we click on this? It's going to bring up the attack screen. You can see green, red, red, red. If we went to the big map, you can see all the reds. They don't have enough movement points, but the one green. So really nice screens. I like the way they do this. He kind of took this off of the operational art of war a little bit, right? So now this gives us a breakdown of if we assault. This is an assault attack, right? -1 for the terrain. That's because it's light forest. -13 for the readiness. That's because we've moved a lot this turn. Readiness modifier on hit points. All right. Experience, we get +30 for that. Uh, experience on hit points +30. Max attack, if we did that, okay, we get a -1. Our command, we're in command, so we get a 73% bonus for that. Higher ground, and this shows you the big difference in elevation. You've really got to pay attention to elevation in this game. -25% up onto that hill. All told, you put that all through the blender, plus 74% on our combat modifiers. 275 is the raw, plus 74%, 478. That's really times 74%, right? 478. You also see the defense modifiers. What's that one? It looks like a computer. Oh, it's the AI bonus modifier. Excellent. We did give the AI a bonus. So this breaks out everything for you, and you can see plus 424. All right, so his defensive value, his raw is 163. Our raw is 275, but look at that, 854 to 478 gives you odds of 1 to 2. So we're going to cancel that attack. And instead, we're going to take these two guys. Now, we could do nothing here, or we can click here and do a ranged attack, and we still have a ranged attack with these two. Why is that? Well, let's go back and look at the unit. Just take this unit, for instance. We have mortars down here, 81 millimeter, range of 2. He's within range, right? We've also got range of 1 for the 50 millimeter pack. Well, we're within one of him. We've also got a range of 5 on the 120 millimeter mortars. Let's do it. Let's fire on this guy. So we'll click on the hex. We could also do it this way. We could click here, and you can see, but that's going to bring up the assault. What we want is a ranged attack. So we got to click on that hex, go ranged. We'll put them both in there. No return fire expected, so we get nothing there as far as any kind of odds, and we attack. All right. We did not lose anything. That's good. Sometimes you'll have guns that misfire or whatever, and you'll lose them. So it always shows this retreat, meaning they went out there, they fought, they came back to the unit. 2, 7, and 3. We did kill 10 GI veterans, and we destroyed 1 Jeep. All right. And we knocked down his readiness. And we also knocked down his entrenchment with that and 1 off the morale. Okay, we'll take that. So now we've pretty much fired with everything we've got up here. You see a lot of 1s and 0s and whatnot. Again, you want everything either to be black or a 0, which doesn't show black or white. They're only in white when they're in move mode. These units here, do we want to start trying to put a little pressure on them? Now, we don't know what this is. We could do recon with these guys. We could play the recon card with the commander. There we go. And let's go to officer. We could do the there it is, recon. Maybe. I'm not sure recon really is what I want to do here. We've got a couple of, we've got this. What is this actually? Oh, 18 well, we've got 18 Panthers. Okay, that's not bad. So why don't we take this motorized unit? We've got him just in move mode. Make sure it's not on group. We don't want them all to move. And we could move down this road and by this way get onto the higher elevation. And that's really what I want to do is get over here so we can look around. Now we may get some defensive fire, we'll find out, but that's why we send the motorized and not the Panthers. You don't want to lose those bad boys. Do I want to go here so we can kind of look at that a little bit or go here? Let's go here. Yep, we did take some defensive, or gosh, I keep calling it defensive. Intercept fire, all right? He attacked us with 6 81 millimeter mortars, all right, and he took out 20 Panzer Panzer Grenadiers. Okay, so 20. Our readiness went down to 93. Our experience actually went down. So some of these guys got killed, and they were the more experienced ones. So that goes down. Our morale went down by 1. Our entrenchment went down by 1. Okay, well, we lost 20 men, but now we start to. Oh, it's from. Could be anywhere from around here, right? We start to get a little bit of visibility of what he's got going on. I don't think I want to move these guys. I wish we knew what this was, obviously. I don't we already played our recon card for our general cards. I wish we could fly up over him, but you can only do that and it's in air support. You can only play a general card once per turn. And we've only got 2 political points for our general cards anyway. So I don't think we're going to find out anything here. And we've got the Jagged Panzers, as I call them, the Stugs, Stug 4. I love the Stugs. They're great, uh, both against tanks, and they're really good against infantry as well. These are just mobile guns, though, really. Just think of them almost like artillery. Uh, it's a development of the Panzer 4. It's an anti-tank weapon, but they can also really, they're very effective against infantry. Now, they do have a range of 3, but and you see that the PZJ, that's anti-tank. Um, we've got this as motorized and anti-tank. Do I want to move them forward though? I don't really think so. I think I'm going to let them sit here for a turn until we have no reason to move them up here and then all of a sudden lose a bunch of that equipment. I mean, why do that? I think I'm just going to leave them right here. I don't think I want to continue here. We're going uphill on this road. I think I'm just going to play very much more defensively down here. I think we've got most things okay covered. Now, I would like this guy to have a little more. We may bring the command up here next time. Um, we're fighting against the elevations here as we're kind of going uphill before we go into this valley at Aracourt, but I think I'm going to leave all this the same. But that doesn't mean there's not something we can do. We can also do ranged attacks, for instance, on this unit. What could hit here? Well, we've got mortars in our motorized units, and we've also got ranges on our panzers. But do I really want those panzers in this? Well, it says no return fire expected. This could open it up for us for what that is. Why don't we go ahead and fire the guy that's already moved? Before I do that, though, I'm just going to make sure, how does this work? All right, this is all level 1, and then this guy's up on a hilltop on a level 2. All right, good to know. This is infantry, or it's indicating it's infantry. We have armor here already there. We're probably going to try to hit artillery to artillery when we get down there. Um, okay, let's click on this hex. Let's do ranged, and let's just do the unit that's already moved. I don't think I'm going to move him any further, and so that's going to use up all of our action points. But let's fire at this and see if we get any more visibility on him. Okay, we fire one 120 millimeter mortar. That's all we had left. Well, okay, we don't do any damage. Nothing else happened, so we just fired a mortar at him. We didn't get any information out of that. Okay, well, he can go no further, I should say. We could have moved him down here and really tried to pinch her, but I don't want to get out here and get him isolated. I get, blitzkrieg, right? Blitzkrieg him. We could take our tanks and move those out here and blitzkrieg though, and I think that would give quite a chill down their spine, because then we'd be threatening this certainly. We took some defensive fire there. He probably has, well, I think we would be able to see it if he has it here. We've got a recon, though, of 37 and a hide of 34. I do not want my panzers out here exposed like that. Um, I could take this motorized unit and come around and just leave the Panzerjägers, but that doesn't make a lot of sense either. Uh, it's tempting, right? He's only got 2 roadways to retreat on. We're already on one of them here. We've got other units moving up this way that'll probably come down this roadway. If I'm around him here, mhm, I think this headquarters will be fine on its own. I'm going to go explore this. We've got 18 Panthers all on their own. We could also bring the anti-tank down here. Oh, the anti-tank can get all the way here too. Would I rather stack that? I'm surprised the motorized can't get further. I could maybe play a card with their hold, hedgehog, recon. No, we don't have shoot. We don't have that speed card. That's what I was looking for to potentially get more here. We're obviously not going to move the headquarters down there. But if we went tank and anti-tank and kept the motorized, I usually like to lead with motorized, right? I probably should have taken this guy up here and then I could have moved the tank over there. Well, you live and you learn. Um, these guys have no infantry with them. I really would like these guys to be in the other way around. I really wish I would have gone ahead and moved him in here to Bazange, although I'm afraid when I move right here, it's going to uncover because we don't have enough recon points in here. Okay, so we don't really know what he's got there. What I think I'm going to do instead is move. Yeah, we got hit. Okay, well, luckily he fired an 81 millimeter mortar at us. On that movement, but we lose none of the Panthers and we stack him now here with this motorized unit. We've still got the command here on the roadway. We've got these guys here. I think I'm going to leave that. I think I'm going to leave that. Although, what do we have here? We don't know what we have here. Okay. Up here, he's on top of the hilltop on us here. Man, it's so tempting to try to move down here. But I'm just afraid that that's why I love this intercept fire. It gives you so many other things to think about during your turn. We've got the headquarters there. All right, let's come down here. I know we're going to want to hit this with a ranged attack. So let's go back to Hex, right? Let's go ranged. And you can see the three different units we have here that could hit him with a ranged attack. Before I do it, though, let's just make sure that's what I want to do. So this motorized, and the headquarters can all hit him with the headquarters. Is that right? Well, let's find out. Let's do this again. Ranged attack. Yeah, the two motorized and the headquarters. So well, it's 1 to 10. That means his artillery is really going to give it back to us. He's got 11 guns himself. Why would our odds go backwards if we use that? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Um, 35 and 134 because he's going to get the chance to fire back at us. I'm not going to do that. Why would I do that? So I guess I'm going to leave this as is. I'm going to leave this as is. I think we're in a pretty good spot here. If we back up a little bit, let's take this all off. Let's scoot that down. You can take that and hide it, right? I haven't shown you guys that yet. I wish you could scoot this over and go full screen. There's probably a way you can do that. I would imagine. Why wouldn't there be? Hex. Oh, you go. Okay. Gosh. Well, that seems obvious now. Um, Yeah, let's scoot it to this. All right, so this is where we stand as we come to the end of our first turn anyway. And we're going to go back, and I would say to always do this. Just click on something here, go to the hex, and go to ranged, just to make sure you don't have anything else that can fire. For instance, we may have something that can fire here. That's a mech unit, by the way. We now know that. We've picked up enough line of sight on that. That's a strong unit. That's a really strong unit. We got to watch that. Uh, okay, well, we can't see anything because we don't have the information up. Um, we've got parts of 11th Panzer coming here. All right, and let's go to their headquarters and see. Yeah, they're just out of range for their command. And this guy is not going to give command to them. Um, We may want to move him over here, like switch places, but I don't think we have any movement points there. And I want to make sure these are the guys really that are probably going to get in combat. So actually, these guys aren't. Not likely anyway. So we would rather have these guys in command, right? So we've got our arty back here. We've got AA and the core headquarters here. We've got the divisional headquarters here. We're moving around on these roads trying to force him to drop back here. 10 points there. I think there's another 10 points there. Um, Moving up to a town we control. We're very gingerly out here on this hilltop. We got hit with mortars twice, didn't take any damage, but now we're really threatening an encirclement, right? I mean, we run for it here. We're really threatening an encirclement. I think he may have to move back, right? Um, these guys are in good shape. We're coming around here. This is very defensive. You can see, I mean, a lot of American forces here. We've covered off all of the bridge crossings. Now, this one we don't have directly covered, but if he goes across here, he's going to have to deal with this here, and we're just going to kind of sit here in the south, I think, a little bit, because he could obviously threaten to break through here, and then we've got real trouble. Because I don't know how we would necessarily respond. We did move up here just on elevation to get some visibility down, into this valley a little bit. Well, we did. I'm not sure how much we really found out. We still have a question mark there. This is a really strong unit. This is a really strong unit. We've got his cavalry in trouble here. This is a strong mech force, but we're going to go ahead and turn the turn next time. We'll go around, make sure there's nothing else that could fire that we want to fire, no other cards that we can play, and then we'll turn the turn. So that was just the morning. This is the morning of September 25th, 1944. Hopefully you enjoyed this. I like this game a lot. I really like this system. I hope they put other games out in this system because this is a lot of fun. Really well designed. Anyway, Strategy Gaming Dojo. I'll talk to you next time. Have a great one.